Hey everybody, hope you guys are healthy and safe. So this is the POCO X3 Pro. If you watch my videos regularly, you may remember that last year I reviewed the POCO X3 NFC and I called it the best value smartphone of 2020. Well, this POCO X3 Pro is an update of that. So the phone looks quite similar on the outside, but on the inside, it's gotten some major spec bump. So the chip inside now is a Snapdragon A60. So this is a 7nm chipset. It's basically a turbocharged version of the Snapdragon 855 Plus. The type of memory being used in this phone has also been bumped up. It is now UFS 3.1 storage, so it's much faster than the UFS 2.1 that was used in the POCO X3 NFC. And of course, you still have a very large, vibrant 120 Hz display and a really large battery at 5,160 mAh. In fact, for this video, I wanted to highlight the POCO X3 Pro's battery endurance because I've been using this phone as my daily driver for the past 3 days and I'm just blown away by the battery endurance of this phone. Like, I would finish entire days with over 50% battery life left. So that means this phone is almost a 2-day phone for me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a series of battery tests pitting the POCO X3 Pro against the Realme A Pro because this is also one of the more recent releases from Realme and they're priced around the same price. I'm also gonna throw in the Galaxy S21 Ultra because this phone has a 5,000 mAh battery, which is really close to the 5,160 mAh battery in here. Okay, so I have the app loaded on all three phones. As you can see right now, all three phones' battery are at 100%. All three phones have maximum screen brightness connected to the same Wi-Fi with Bluetooth on. So I'm just gonna hit the start button on all three of these. So now the test has begun. I'm gonna start the timer right now. So we have the POCO X3 Pro here, Realme A Pro here, and the Galaxy S21 Ultra right here. Okay, 1 hour is almost up, so let's take a look at all three of these phones' battery life. Let's just stop the test right now. And then make the screen a little bit more visible. Okay, so the POCO X3 Pro, after 1 hour of this test, has 79% battery life, and the battery temperature is at 42 degrees. The Realme A Pro, 72% battery life, and the temperature is at 42.4 degrees Celsius. Now the Galaxy S21 Ultra, 74% battery life, and battery temperature is at 42.4. POCO X3 Pro has the lowest temperature, 41 degrees, so that's over 1.5 degrees cooler than the S21 Ultra and the Realme A Pro. So you can chalk up this win to the POCO X3 Pro's bigger battery, but also the multi-layer graphite cooling system with a heat pipe buried underneath that Snapdragon A60 SoC. Okay, so moving on to the second part of the test, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play an hour-long YouTube video with the volume at max, highest volume level, and screen brightness at the highest screen brightness. So all three of these phones are at 100% max brightness right now, and the volume are at the highest possible volume. And this is an hour-long video of the California coast. So this is a continuation of the first test. So the battery has not been recharged back up. So that means the POCO X3 Pro is going to start with 76% battery life. The Realme A Pro has 71%, and the Galaxy S21 Ultra has 73%. I'm going to start the timer. Okay, let's lower the volume. I've been sitting here for an hour with this blasting, my ears are hurting. Okay, so the POCO X3 Pro has 68% battery left. That's pretty good. It was at 77%, I believe, when I played 1 hour of video at max volume and max brightness. The Realme A Pro is at 62% battery life, and the Galaxy S21 Ultra is at 61%. So this is where the POCO X3 Pro's battery life is starting to pull away from the Galaxy S21 Ultra. You have 68% right here versus 61%. Both of these are very similar sized batteries. Okay, it is like 5:27 a.m. right now, but we're gonna run one more test. So right now, all three of these phones are at 80% battery. Well, either 80 or 81, so close enough. They're all around 80%. We're gonna run this PC Mark Battery 2.0 test. So what this test will do is it's going to push the phone very heavily, doing all sorts of intensive tasks. So you see right now it's going to do web browsing, and after that it's going to work the GPU, the CPU, and all this time it's gonna blast the screen brightness on and off like that too. And it's gonna keep doing all this until the phone gets to 20% battery life, at which point the test will stop and then it will show you how long the phone lasted under the 80 to 20% drain. Okay, so surprisingly, the Galaxy S21 finished last in this PC Mark battery 2.0 test. So the Galaxy S21 Ultra only lasted 9 hours and 20 minutes, which is a good but not great score. The Realme 8 Pro, as you can see, just bowed out a couple minutes ago and it lasted 13 hours and 1 minute. Now the POCO X3 Pro is still going right now, but we know for sure it beat the Realme 8 Pro. These two phones cost around the same price, and the Galaxy S21 Ultra. These two phones have almost the exact same battery size. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that the Galaxy S21 Ultra costs like 5 times or 4 times as much as the POCO X3 Pro. So if you're on the market for a good value entry-level mid-tier phone, the POCO X3 Pro is probably the best that you're gonna get right now. We know that this is a battery beast. It has a much faster screen, 120Hz panel compared to the 60Hz panel of the Realme 8 Pro, and it has a more powerful chipset, a Snapdragon 860 compared to the Snapdragon 720G. And the POCO X3 Pro's main camera does a really good job during the day, and at night, as long as you turn on night mode, you're gonna get a very vibrant shot too. So there are not a lot of shortcomings when it comes to the POCO X3 Pro. If you're looking at it from just a purely battery endurance point of view, we know that this is the battery beast of 2021, at least so far. So anyway, that's about it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please subscribe to my channel if you liked it. I'll be back with more content. Thanks for watching.